Allied Matters Act. Let me say first that, as you know, the Companies and Allied Matters Act is a very huge legislation, has over 870 sections or so. So it's a massive legislation that covers a wide range of issues of companies, all sorts of issues on companies, general meetings, appointment of directors, etc. Now there's a small portion of it called the Incorporated Trustees section. That small section of it is the section that regulates charities. Now churches and mosques and such organizations are regarded as charities. So it is the Incorporated Trustees section of the Companies and Allied Matters Act that has become controversial. And because churches are charities, the provisions in the Incorporated Trustees Act obviously affect the churches. Now what the churches are concerned about is a provision that says, I think there are about 2 or 3 provisions, but the main one is the one that says that in the event that some wrongdoing is found by or perpetrated by the trustees of the particular organization or church, the Registrar General can go to court, get an order to appoint interim administrators or interim trustees for the church or for whichever organization, whichever charity that may be, and then, as it were, manage the affairs of such a trust. Now, the concern of the churches is that it could lead to a situation where practically anybody could be appointed as a trustee to oversee a church, and a church obviously, or a mosque or a religious organization is obviously a spiritual organization.
Like you're watching Firecrackers on Galaxy TV. Now let's cross over now and talk about the Company and Allied Matters Act. Joining me at the table to shed light on this is Kolawole Oluwadare, the Deputy Director of SERAP. We also have a zonal pastor from the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Leke Olulano, and of course Yemi Saka, Public Affairs Analyst, is also a gentleman. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Let me start with the pastor in the house. Khan has reacted to the CAMA, but let's hear from you, because this is the first time we're having a man of God here with us. Okay. Let's get your first-hand reaction to this act.
Before an act is enacted, there will be room for public hearings, and it's an act of the National Assembly. If there is room for public hearing, then there is need for you to say what you want to say concerning it. I will say what I want to say concerning it. Then it will go to the National Assembly, the first reading, the second reading, the third reading, and the technical committee will go through it and harmonize before the president will sign. This one is already signed into law, and there are a lot of things in it. Number one, it depends on the individual, how you see it. If you are a pastor, the way you see it is different from someone who is not a pastor but is a lawyer.
Because you are a pastor, so how do you see it? Let's hear from
as a
pastor. How do you see it?
As a pastor, I look at it as it's a normal thing to regulate any system.
Okay.
But it has to deal with the what and how. What are we regulating in the church? Is it the spiritual aspect of it? Is it the finance or administration?
Okay.
Then that is in one part. Okay. The second part is how. What are the procedures? Is the law make provision for how the said manager that will, interim manager that will take over when a trustee is being suspended. And I know that section 838 talks about the mismanagement, which if that one happened in section 839, then the trustee will have to be suspended for the manager to come in. Okay. But the concern of the church is this. There are three issues to concern, to look into.
Yes, three issues. You hold your thoughts. We'll hear those issues in just a moment. But let's cross over and speak with the Deputy Director from SERAP. What is your first-hand reaction to the Company and Allied Matters Act?
The law as it is discussing the interests of Nigerians. And I'm not talking about the totality of the law. We at SERAP are concerned about the Part F of that Company and Allied Matters Act 2020, which is what we have based our advocacy on. And I think we need to make it clear. We need not look at this through the lens of religion or tribe, which is what we've seen with the problem in Nigeria so far. Part F, as it stands, regulating incorporated trustees in Nigeria, is inimical to the civic space. It will not help Nigerians. And the reasons are not far-fetched. Particularly in the way these associations are registered as incorporated trustees, will be managed and regulated by the Corporate Affairs Commission, does not speak well, either for the provisions of fair hearing in our constitution, or the right of Nigerians, individually and collectively, to form and associate with themselves. And this goes specifically to the issues. And that talks about section 831, 839, 842 to 844, right to 850. Those sections. So it's not the whole law, but Part F. That is what we're concerned about.
So, Pastor, you corroborate with what he's saying?
Yeah, he said the truth.
So the Part F here is the major.
Yes, but the concern of the church majorly, as I'm about talking about.
Yes, we'll come to the concern. Let's speak to Yemi. Do you have issues with CAMA?
Yeah, I have issues with CAMA, and it's just the provision of it that talks about incorporation of foreign companies or companies from foreign nations in Nigeria. That's for me. And the exemption for China, or exemption of China. Why exempting China? Why? When Nigerians are crying, you've outsourced your sovereignty, or you've loaned or borrowed out your sovereignty. This section or this portion of the CAMA Act probably wants to validate that for me. And I probably want to, about the regulation and what I view, churches, NGOs, and I believe it's a norm everywhere in the whole world. If these people, you cannot just, I can't wake up tomorrow and say I'm starting the Misaka Ministry, Salvation Ministry. I have to go through CAC. Are you not saying that if as a religious body or what have you, I run foul of corporate governance law, the laws of the land and institutions of the land cannot reprimand?
So the Part F is not a big deal for you?
It's not a big deal for me.
No big deal for you. Let's come back and talk with Pastor, which you're going to tell us those three aspects that you said the church is very, very concerned and particular about. Yeah,
the first thing is the area of, I'm a trustee of my own church. I'm the founder.
Okay.
I have people working with me. I spend the whole of my life, maybe my pension, or the money that I raise in my life, I've used it to establish this church. To invest. I tell you, I have somebody who borrowed money from the bank, and he has a lot of debts to pay for several years.
Is the church a business, Pastor?
No, it shouldn't be seen as a business. Yes, it shouldn't be seen as a business. So if anybody is
does it operate as a business?
No, it is not, because part of the concession given to the church is that it's a non-profit organization, and as a non-profit organization, you are not expected to begin to run this as a business.
Okay.
That is sure. The concern is that, okay, someone like that, what is going to be his take when the manager come and take it? Then secondly, is this manager coming anti-church or is anti-denomination? Because even within the church, we have different denominations that one way or the other, the agreement is not really there. And the third thing, for God's sake, is that it can be politicized.
Okay, so those are the issues.
That the person coming could come with a motive of another motive to operate.
Yeah, so those are the issues that
those are the concern of the church
about it.